Trump continues to sink in denial because the polls are not looking good for him.
Take a look at the Real Clear Politics average and the 538 average in each of the 7 battleground states. First column is Real Clear Politics. Only in 2 of the 7 states, Arizona for Trump and Wisconsin for Harris, is the difference between the 2 candidates larger than 1%. Same thing in 538. It's only 2 states, and Harris in this one, it leads in both Wisconsin and in Michigan. So we're talking about, let's assume this has a 1% or 2% impact on the electorate, that could be decisive.
And you wonder, how is Trump handling this news? Not well.
When I told some people in Washington, yeah, I'm going up to New York, we're doing a campaign speech, they said, what do you mean New York? You can't ever, nobody can win, Republicans can't win. I said, I can win New York, and we can win New York. We're going to win New York.
People that are running good campaigns, that are doing well in the polls, and don't suffer from delusion, don't say things like this to their supporters daily.
So we ran in 2016, and it was amazing. It was amazing, and we won. We then ran in 2020, and we did much better than 2016. People don't like to hear it, oh, he's a conspiracy theorist, We got millions and millions more votes. We did much better. It wasn't even a contest. I was telling one of the papers, they said, what was the difference? I said, well, the difference is we did much, much better the second time.
Even though he's admitted in the past that he lost the 2020 election.
What was for all the like?
He was good. He did a good job.
Yeah.
He was smart, cunning. He did a good job.
And are you guys still close, or you no longer?
No, I don't think so. He is... After I lost the election, I won the election, but when they said we won, he called me up 3 or 4 times. I didn't take his call because I was so busy fighting it.
He's already hedging for him losing, so he can just recycle the same story as he did in 2020.
That means they don't want your cows. Get rid of your cows. Would anybody like to keep red meat? Raise your hand. Think of it, borders and electric mandate and all of the things, red meat. Oh, how the hell do you get elected, right? You know how they got elected? By cheating. They get elected by cheating. Because they want to raise your taxes by 5 times. Oh, please vote for me. I'm going to raise your taxes 5 times higher. But the red meat is to fight climate change, okay? Climate change.
The polls are better, but they're not, in my mind, great. They're better, but they're not great. They are better than when we had Biden. Biden was down 10 points in states with Democrat governors, right? Democratic governors, like the state voted Democrat for their governor, and he was polling below that, which is terrifying, right? And then it got bad enough. I mean, right before he dropped out, it got so bad that congresspeople in New York state districts were complaining. They're like, we're going to get wiped out because people are going to vote down ballot here, and we're going to lose seats in New York State. This is a state where Democrats outnumber Republicans 2-1. Easy. New York State should not be going red. It should definitely not be going anywhere near purplish. Okay, if it's going anywhere near purplish, the Democrats have done a horrendous job. Okay, so that's how bad it was right before Biden left, but it's improved dramatically. I mean, you can see it with how desperate the Trump campaign is. I mean, the Haitians and the dogs and and like all these manufactured videos online. It's better than it was. However, it's still, we're not above the margin of error. We're at 50-50, everywhere. It is still going to come down to a few thousand votes in key districts. The fate of this country will be determined by a few thousand votes in certain counties. Everyone has said that. That's not news per se. No one's no one's getting too cocky about this. Even MAGA. They were arrogant, cocky. They were like, let's release Project 2025 into the wild here and just gaslight Democrats and be like, what? And the gaslighting has not worked so far. They've still been gaslighting. So, if you're looking at the polls are much better. I mean, there's like a 1 to 2% margin of error. And Kamala, and she is doing better, but she's not past the margin of error. Well, let's go over what the Kamala campaign is doing right. Okay. Okay. They are responding to their counter messaging. Boom. Like stuff comes out, they counter message. Perfect. They are taking the offensive. They're not like trying to do, this whole, the Democratic strategy of the past was like, hey, we're the happy centrists and we're going to win all of our games away. They're actually like, you can actually list Kamala's policies and things that she wants. That's very well known. That wasn't widely publicized, and like it wasn't easy for the general public to know and get excited about certain policies. And these are things that, listen, politicians promise things. Sometimes they deliver, sometimes they don't. But the fact that she's running on these things is a much better sign. Like Kamala's policy with regards to price gouging, increasing home ownership, increasing the amount of homes, giving credits to small businesses, child tax credits, making healthcare, mental health care. These are fantastic things to run on. Okay, and she's also running on with regards to actually doing stuff with regards to the border. The border is an issue. It's not an issue in the way they think it's an issue. You know what I mean? They're actually running a good campaign. For probably the first time I've spoken to people in the campaign and all of that, and I've constantly asked them, like, what happened? Who got fired? Because for the last several years, I have just been sitting around going, like, how are they so bad at this? Like, really, choosing Walz, even though that's not a state where everybody won, it's a much better move. Walz is better, on the fly. He's better in so many ways. He's better at connecting with rural and middle class voters. He's better at connecting with people. I've met him. I've been in intimate functions with him. Met his daughter. Like, he's genuinely pleasant to be around, as opposed to Vance, who is like, pretending to be a human being at all times. And every time he opens his mouth, it is just comical. I mean, if we do lose this thing and, as our, planet and country and democracy just plunges into darkness, I mean, we will have the morbid fascination of getting to listen to him talk as VP like all the time and make appearances. Because, I mean, good God, when that man opens his mouth, woo, gotta love it. And bring it back to Trump and the Trump campaign's desperation. I mean, they're doing things that, like, I hope it has an effect, right? The people that are like the diehard MAGAs, they're not changing their mind, when Trump does the Haitian nonsense and the childless, Vance is like the childless cat ladies, and they're not like, there's the MAGA movement. They're really not like, if anything, they're like digging their heels in because they're so red-pilled. I hope the people that were sort of not locked in and paying attention to what was happening, I hope, like all of these recent events just gets them to just perk up and go, nope, nope. I just met with members of the Haitian community that came to counter protest Donald Trump yesterday at a Trump rally. And I'm a white person. I'm not Haitian, shocker. I was upset about that. To see, 1,000 people outside of Trump's rally in Long Island, 1,000 Haitian people, all furious, and like the union members showing up and saying, like, they were I thought I was pissed. These people are livid. The best signs that I saw is, we don't eat cats and dogs. We vote. And I was like, whew. That was like chicken soup for the soul right there. So, yeah, bottom line is we're not like past the margin of error in the polls. This Kamala is going to obviously take the popular vote, but yeah, it's still can't put our feet up yet.